It is actually really, really bad for your toes.
You can damage your knees, but
I hit my nose on the bottom. So I think I'm just gonna swim around for a couple of minutes and wait for anybody else. It's there's always late comers. If you guys want to take a picture for you, feel free. I'm gonna toss this to you.
Hey, you almost 11.
And normally it's kind of underwater. I love tricks. I like little heart bubbles and that kind of stuff. Little swirls that I can do. I can do it both of my bodies. Because I forgot my nose. What's your name? Hi, I'm MerKate. But in the Mer community, I'm MerKate. I am one of the cosplay guests here, and aside from cosplay, one of my favorite pastimes is mermaiding. And mermaiding is something that is a small community, but really elaborate community of mer people nationwide. We communicate via the Mer Nation, which is an online website, and most of the time I do birthday parties or there's aquarium shows that I like to do that are fun. I haven't actually gotten the opportunity to do one, so it would be great. And there's many different types of mermails and that kind of stuff. And this is my new silicone one that I just had finished, and it's really exciting to get to swim in it because I only ever had fabric skills before this one, and I really don't know a good place to start with mermaiding because it's so detailed. But I think I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do one more trick, and then I'll sit up on the side and kind of talk to you about the kind of easier details of mermaiding. Sound good?
Excellent.
All right. I have to use my goggles sometimes in the aquarium because I have contacts in. Not stick my nose in the water. My what? Oh yeah, I know. Huh? All right. like I said, this is my first time in a silicone tail. And so it's a little bit heavier than I'm used to. And I'm not quite strong enough yet, I don't think. I think I'm actually going to come over to the stairs so that we can all sit around. Does that sound better? Yeah? Maybe? No? Okay. It's difficult to host a panel from a pool. And I am here to talk about mermaiding and the beautifulness that is swimming in the tail. So the very basics to start with is you have to be an exceptionally good swimmer in order to be a mermaid. Just because the amount of effort it takes to swim when your legs are tied together really tightly is like 3 to 10 times that which is just regular swimming. And so I always make sure before letting anyone wear a tail that they know how to swim pretty well. And I always have a guard spot before anytime I'm in a tail, because if I ever have a problem, I need to be able to be safe because I can't exactly surface easily or quickly. The main type of tails that you see like on the internet a lot are your fabric tails, and you can make them very easily, but if you want to buy them, they're usually between $100 and $150. And some of the best ones that I've seen are made by a company called Fin. And you get a monofin and then your tail cover. The monofin is this piece down inside the tail that allows me to be able to swim. It's like really hard. That's fun. Alright. Let's not have an accident there. And those by themselves are about $70. But a fun way that you can make a mertail is actually you can draw your body shape onto a piece of cardboard and then cut that out and use that to cut 2 pieces of fabric, including a little triangle past your feet that's the shape of the scales on my monofin here that you can see. And then you can make your own monofin using a doormat you can get from like Walmart for like $10, and sewing some jelly shoes onto it for your feet to be secure. And that's a cheap way I like to make for kids. Mertails, silicone tails like this one. Which was originally made by the Mertailor, and he is one of the bigger silicone tail makers in the United States South, and they usually start at about $2,500 and go up from there, depending on if you have any like heel fins or dorsal or hip fins or anything like that. They are made using a platinum-based silicone called Dragon Scale. That's one of the only ones that's capable of being in chlorine salt and that kind of stuff, as well as taking paint. I really kind of don't know. One of my first panels. But the silicone, yeah, that's a scrap of my tail
So the inside of the tail.
The
neoprene?
inside is neoprene, yeah. And then the fluke is, there's actually a monofin that's about, I think it's one of the $90 monofins underneath of all the silicone that is the fluke. The whole tail itself out of the water is between 15 and 25 pounds. Depends on if it's soaking wet or not. It's really, really heavy, which is why it's so hard to swim in. And I cannot warn you enough about don't try to swim in a silicone tail if you don't think you're ready. Like I thought I was ready, and I'm still pretty shaky about it. Sure.
I tried on the fabric tail some weeks ago, and the fabric tail is kind of like a training course. It is basically training your body to get used to that. And so, in that one, you're able to bend your knees in order to help push you through the water, so you can't obviously move your feet. But in this one, if you use your knees, the tail begins to slide off. And so, it has to all come from the
It's a fiberglass.
Yeah, it's a lot of core work. But more than just that, this tail, if you bend it too far, it may tear. If you drag it across the ground, if you use your paint job, if you, like it's very, very delicate, and you can't leave it in a hot car, like and drying it is essential. After I get out of the water, it has to hang with like towels inside of it for a few days, just to make sure that it doesn't mold. That would be the absolute worst thing ever. As far as I don't know where I was going with this, but getting into it is about a 45-minute deal. Just because it is skin tight. Also with a fabric tail, not only can you move, but the fabric rolls and slides around on your skin. Whereas this, my knees are pressed together so hard that if I'm in this for too many hours, it hurts. Because it's a sheath for your legs. It's really, really tight.
What's the purpose of the split and the fin?
The split of this right here?
Yes.
That is the seam for the bottom, because it's actually two separate pieces. The monofin is a separate piece from the tail itself, and that's how it slides on and off. And that's just because if that was just plain silicone, it would tear. And so the thread helps it to not tear through and have like little fluffy bits. Fluffy bits like this. Fluffy bits! Yeah. Well, I have a friend that is a mermaid, and I saw her at a convention one time just playing around in the pool, and I was like, I didn't know other people had dreams of being real life mermaids too. And so it was a lot like a furry fandom kind of thing. If I was like, you can be a mermaid? I want to be a mermaid. And she helped me make my first cocktail. And then I ended up buying this from her because it was hers, and then we recolored it and reshaped it so that it was mine. And yeah. I really, what do you guys want to know about mermaiding? Yeah.
Quick question. Now I've read a little bit. I've been to Nation and all that. I was curious, what is your stance? Because you mentioned it's kind of like being a furry. Like I've read that in depth where they're like, oh, it's not furry. It is furry. It's kind of similar. I was curious what your thoughts and your stance and all that.
I mean, like it is and it isn't. The people outside of the fandom or even ones that haven't really experienced mermaiding as like a group or with other people, it's for them because it's something that you really have to have an understanding for in order to really be fully in it. And so because of that, we do kind of isolate ourselves, like at conventions, at like mermaid conventions. There's whole conventions just for mermaids because
Ooh, never going to anime
not
convention,
everybody can come to a pool and hang out during an anime convention or things like that. And so birds of a feather flock together. And the struggles of being a mermaid and buying a $2,500 tail or...
Well, yeah, but also furries, their fursuits. I was looking at prices just yesterday. They're about similar, and then they have to deal with the fact that they're just in that suit, you know,
Yeah.
for however long.
But then at the same time, I don't feel as though it is because everybody can appreciate mermaids, and outside of mermaiding, people are still like, "Oh my gosh, you're a mermaid," and we're always part of other families. I haven't met a mermaid who isn't an animator or a cosplayer or something, just because it is, at least for me, it's another cosplay. But it's more of a, instead of a character like Emma Frost or Harley Quinn, it's me and what I am as a mermaid. It's like an original character.
Your persona or...
Yeah, persona rather than just a costume.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I feel as though it could kind of be classified as both. It's inclusive and exclusive.
Yeah, it's kind of like how a brony is kind of like a furry. Because they have giant furry costumes, stuff like that, you know, it's overlap.
Yeah, the bronies is a whole nother level.
Yeah, true.
Any other questions about, everyone kind of
And what kind of fabric would you use?
fabric? I love to use nylon spandex, or actually, like for my aerial tail, I actually went to, if you go to, went to Hancock's, or now if you go to Joanne's, there's a whole section of swim nylon that it's basically swimsuit material, and that's a good one to use for tails because it's made and designed to be really stretchy. But any fabric that you can find that is a four-way stretch, where you're able to pull it both with the grain and against the grain, and its stretch is good for a fabric tail.
That's
the word.
Sorry
about that.
In this content, this is not what we're doing. So, more bend, easier.
Yeah, like in order to bend it like that far, I kind of like push my knees beside each other, like closer together, so that I'm ensuring it doesn't tear or anything like that. And the neoprene on the inside helps with that quite a bit, but it's never gonna. I don't want it to tear.
Can you make it like just while you're sitting?
Yeah. And so it has a lot of movement, and it's just like a whale fluke, or what you would imagine a mermaid fluke would be. And you can get monofins that are stiffer or more flexible depending on your strength of swimming. And monofins, they have an ankle strap around them to hold your feet in. And you can go to like dive shops and find them sometimes. And at least the one in my area, I'm from Central Arkansas, there's a dive shop there that sells them, that lets me try them on in the water and feel how flexible they are before I buy it and silicone it. Oh yeah, it's a full training process, and then of course getting in and out of it is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Yes, like click.
It never ends.
Does anyone? I bet you all kind of want to touch the fluke part. 'Cause that's how the scales feel. The fluke bit is a little bit different here. Sarah?
jellyfish? I wish. Just scrub it with jellyfish twice a day. Trust me.
It's great moisturizer.
Really rubbery.
My mother sometimes asks me why I wanted to be a mermaid. Like, because if I could see anything, why not a mermaid? And going back to that furry idea, it is kind of a lot like the furry fandom when creating a tail and having it made, because the tailors that make them, they can do all kinds of different fin configurations. They can also do lots of different, of course, many different colors. It's all worked into a clownfish design, so it had the orange and white stripes. It was really pretty. And so it is like creating a persona. You choose your shape and your flute style, and then your colors, and any additional pieces you have. Like, I love my spots. A lot of people don't notice I have spots
Oh yeah.
on my tail.
It's the first thing I noticed.
And I love having spots.
And then I have this pretty gold inlay here. And
Because I love gold. Anyone else have any questions or ideas? They gave me an hour and a half, and I'm like, I don't know.
It's a long time to be in the water competition.
It's kind of self-explanatory mermaid.
I mean, I think they gave you an hour and a half to swim with us, but like it's a
Well, I tried to get them to allow me to do it in a workshop style.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
And have the doormats that I use. Like, you go to Walmart, you get the doormats that are the rubber material like this, and cut a shape. And I was going to teach, like, kind of do a step-by-step and make a fabric tail in front of me.
Oh, that'd be a great panel.
But they said that I couldn't do that because they really wanted me to look cool.
Then why not have two panels then?
I can't make this tail off.
Well, yeah, true. But you could do the other one without even having to be in your tail.
I could. I very could.
Yeah. Because all you need is PowerPoint and a table.
That's an
And,
idea for next year. You can tell
Yeah.
them that and have them invite me back.
there you go. Ooh.
Yeah, my heels are out of the monofin. Me over?
she's like, help, fish out of water, fish out of water.
So you can see my heels.
Right there.
It's supposed to be more like right here.
Yeah, they're supposed to be in there a little bit further. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Yep, I'm in. And so
Lots of upper arms strength.
I'm actually gonna turn over here and lay on my stomach because it's hurting.
Huh? That's why my feet lay on the stomach. Yeah, because it hurts our knees. And all up like that.
They're over there freaking out.
Are you excited for the Splash remake with Channing Tatum as the merman?
Yes, I am really excited about that, but then I'm also kind of worried.
Yeah, no, it might be terrible.
Well, I mean, the movie, we don't know. But there's a large number of people that because he's going to be Aquaman are, I want to be a mermaid. And it's not, I want everyone, if you want to be a mermaid, be a mermaid. Like, hashtag #cosplay in that panel. Like, cosplay, if you want to cosplay, have a mermaid, make a mertail, it doesn't matter. But please take the safety precautions. Learn how to care for them, and like because there's only so much your arms can do with them. And so just be safe about it. Be safe about being mermaid.
No, I'm enjoying this. We decided to come inside because there's thunder. I like going deep underwater than that. I also tried to like get everyone to come bathing suit and get fit. So I was alright. Yeah, I mean like if at some point you can totally do that.
Because I was like, yeah, it's so wet. Have your refrigerator. So I was like,
Yeah, it's actually really fun. It's just the Texas sun and everything.
and I'm right.
I only looked at the cans online. They didn't have this online, so I was not prepared. I would have worn a bathing suit. This would be great. I'm sorry. Come back next year. Only half the whole unit. Yeah. No.
Are you actually going in?
For a day, come for Chloe.
Not fair.
Oh man, I have to switch into my suit I have in my car.
Any other questions?
As long as you can be here, what time is it?
Spark my
3:25.
brain. I have anxiety issues. So my brain's not
Oh yeah, she can stay in the pool for as long as she needs
How
to.
long can I be staying in the pool? Comfortably. I mean, I can stay in a few hours. I mean, it gets tiring, and I definitely need to have areas that's where I can sit and relax. But I think comfortably, probably like a good 2 hours. Swimming in deep water, like 30 minutes. 30 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I need to sit down right now.
Still actors?
Yeah.
Does it hurt to be in the tail sometimes?
Sometimes it presses my knees together, and it stretches. My feet are constantly pointing, which thankfully I am a ballet dancer, and so I'm used to pointing my feet. But it does tend to cramp a little.
Ow. Ow. Skill, sorry. Sorry.
I mean, when I stretch out like this, I can pull my knees apart for a second. It's because of how tight the tail has to be in order to not slide off.
Right. You think maybe there should be like, I don't know, whatever that term is. It's been here for a while. Like maybe something you could put in between your knees just to like buffer. You know?
Well, I don't think that everybody has knee problems in their tails. I have extremely bony knees, and so I think that's primarily of it. It's just the bones sitting together. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same boat.
Yeah. It just seems like so not
But it's honestly not horribly because the way in the dry, if I'm sitting on the side of the pool, it becomes a little bit unbearable kind of more quickly.
Right.
But in the water, you've got a buoyancy and such, and that helps it. There's like a hole there. It's bothers me. I don't like it. But yeah, see, I'm like the core strength. You have to be able to like core and back. I do sit-ups. I hang my knees off on the side of the pool, and I do sit-ups through the water because you have to have the strength going up as well as the strength to push yourself back down in order to get a dolphin that is far enough to really get propulsion in the water.
Were you a swimmer?
I love swimming, and so I just kind of swim. Yeah, I scuba dive, and I was thinking that the transition between the flippers and the tail would be easier than it was, and it's just completely different when you have to do both at the same time.
Right.
Also, flippers are a little bit more flexible than where the most modern ones. Yeah.
I'm sure that wasn't leaving you. She just don't want you to drown. No drowning.
No, I'm pretty good. I'm not like tired or anything at the moment. I freaked out earlier because of the water filled with it, I smile. Water, give it in my nose. I don't like water in my nose. Well, they make these wax nose plug things that I normally have, but they alter my voice.
Oh yeah.
And so being that this was primarily going to be a speaking thing, that I didn't want to be blowing things out of my nose.
Your blue is leaving you.
Yes, it is. I did it 2 days ago, so it's kind of. It's also splat here that
You're gonna be less blue, you know.
that's okay. It came out too dark.
Okay, well then maybe you'll like it.
Okay. I'm ready.
And you didn't have the blue when you read, or are you already?
No, I've had freaky colored hair for about 2 years, so it was bleached.
Okay.
But it wasn't like a platinum bleach. It was. I know a lot about hair. It was. I lightened it to like a level 2 before coloring it.
Just to be able to put the.
It was just. It was a new color of splat that I was expecting it to be either a black blue or a medium blue, and it came out a dark. And so, and then what I do is I mix some of the splat into my shampoo, and so when I shampoo it, it gets a little bit more color again, and so that makes it last. Yeah, I lost most of my. They just wanted pictures of the mermaid, right?
Yeah.
For the fabric.
But yeah, I got here early because I'm like, there's gonna be a lot of people because mermaid. The map just says mermaids.
In general.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing some other things, but then I was like, nope. Okay,
All about the mermaid.
yep, all about the mermaids.
Well, they have so much. They have brands that have.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm still gonna be hanging out. Actually, bleach has no effect on most of those synthetic wigs, but that's another panel